Good morning, I'm Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. Got a lot to talk about as usual, so I'm going to jump straight into it with my first guest, my good friend Kayla Hensley. Man, I can't hardly talk. I'm already choked up this morning, and you haven't even said anything to choke me up. But Kayla is with Abby Executive Suites, which is a great organization. And always delighted to have you on. You're in for our friend William Edmondson.
Yeah.
And we got a great guest lined up. And before we get to your guest, why don't you tell us about Abby?
Sure. Well, thank you, Kevin. Abby Executive Suites is a locally owned and operated chain of executive suites with over 30 years experience in the office and workspace industry. We offer 24/7 office space, meeting room rentals, and virtual offices for the business professionals here in Texas as well as Louisiana. We have 23 locations in the two states here. We offer office solutions with flexible terms and minimum upfront costs to make it nice and easy for business professionals.
Yeah, very good. And your guest today?
Okay, I'm extremely excited to introduce our guest today. She is a very well-accomplished attorney here in Houston. Her name is Kathy Cheng. She has over a decade of legal experience, and I'm very excited for you to meet her.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you on the program, Kathy. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your firm.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Thanks for allowing me to be on your show.
Sure.
My firm, basically, what we do for our clients is that we do asset protection and business succession. Now, it's often thought that wealth planning only applies to the wealthy, which is a major misconception. In fact, our firm handles wealth planning from everyone from blue-collar to small business owners to corporate executives whose net worth exceeds $5.43 million. So at our firm, Cheng & Associates, we make sure that our clients' family discourse is minimized when there's a death in a family or when there's a business succession requirement, that there's tranquility and peacefulness during those time frames.
Yeah, as much as humanly possible, because they're already naturally stressful without being unprepared legally.
Exactly.
Yeah, very true. Go ahead there, Kayla.
Well, Kathy, it's interesting here. Whenever Kathy came to Abby, I was extremely excited about her involvement in wanting to be in the community. Tell us a little bit, Kathy, about how you are involved in your community, and you are very excited about networking opportunities and things like that here in Houston.
Right. Aside from being a full-time attorney and a full-time mom as well, on my spare time, what I like to do is volunteer for nonprofit organizations so that I could educate people on some of the legal topics that's of interest to the general public, that's helpful to them. And at the same time, if there's any other spare time, I spend time with local communities in helping assist them with their children's needs, things like special needs issues.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been a part of the Abby family?
A little bit less than a year, but in that such a short time frame, I have been very pleased with their service and their staff.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job. Go ahead, Kayla.
And to kind of, Kathy, is there anything in particular as far as what you look for the perfect client, or areas of specialty that you like to focus on, especially maybe now?
Well, actually, our clientele, we don't actually look for any particular clients because with this type of wealth planning, it has to be a fit for the client as well as it has to be a fit for the firm. Because, for example, if the client doesn't, there's a certain need that the client wants, but if the firm cannot proceed with that particular, because sometimes clients have a predisposition to want something, and if we feel like that's not something that we could achieve for the client, for the interest of the client, we actually wouldn't take clients like that. So it's a two-way street. It has to fit. So what we do is we do an extensive interview with the client, same thing what a client would interview us, to determine whether or not that's something what would fit both sides.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think people can get rather flippant in the way they choose someone to work with. And, there's a certain level of vulnerability and even almost intimacy when it comes to dealing with legal issues that you really want to be comfortable with that lawyer, and you want a lawyer that's comfortable with you.
Exactly. In fact, in situations like this, at the end of the planning, we actually know the client's family better than some of their own family members know about themselves.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a great statement about you or a sad state about our culture, but yeah, I think that's important.
And I actually got that to direct there. I got that from Kathy whenever she came to Abby to be a client with us. She was very open and extremely intelligent, wanted to know exactly what she was getting here. And so I imagine that same gusto transfers over to how she takes care of her clients, I imagine.
Are you over at the Uptown office?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, and that's by the way, we're neighbors. Let me ask you as we wrap it up, what is the best website for people to get more information?
Well, actually, I'm not going to give out the website because it's too long, but I will give out a phone number that's easier to remember. 832-788-8840. Again, that's 832-788-8840.
Thank you so much. And Kayla, how do we get more information about Abby?
You can visit Abby at abby.com. That's ABBY.com. Or you can call us at 1-888-513-1470. And, of course, we are on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. You can follow us there. Thanks
so much. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, and this is The Price of Business.